podcast like this? Who gon' bring it to the table? Boss talk. Who your girlfriend favorite? Boss talk.
Check. This is Unique House. It's your boy ECO. And I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica.
Well, go on, Madame. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. When I mean all. On Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But let me tell you, y'all always see us on the street and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we support the brand? This is how you can support the brand. Under each and every video, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and that's how you can see all the exclusive content that we have that y'all been asking, where is this, where is that? That's where it is. Members only can see it. Thank you in advance, and we love you.
Man, we got a special guest in here today. She needs no introduction, man. We are here in Beverly Hills in California. It's going down, West Coast, stand up. Mama Boo is in the building.
Yes.
How you doing, and welcome to Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
Thank you.
Man, glad to have you. I want to get all the way into your situation. You know, I don't really throw no gang signs and all that. I know you guys out here are sensitive. This culture is definitely different than any that we ever go to when it come down to the gangs and all of the different strategies and where you sit and who you be with and all that. Let's get to it, Miss Jamaica. Let's talk about who she is, where she from, how she came up.
Okay, so you born and raised in California. What part of California?
Borderline Compton, but in LA. I went to Compton schools, but was raised in LA.
Was raised in LA. Okay. So how come you didn't go to schools in Compton?
No, I went to school in Compton.
It's Compton, but you was raised in LA.
Well, how the borderline is for where my mom apartments is, the home school is Centennial, Vanguard, and Mark Twain.
Okay.
So how they kind of border it off, but our address is LA.
Okay. So were you born and raised with your mom and dad in the same household?
I was born and raised with my mom in the household. My father was in the penitentiary for a lot of years of my life. He got out about the time I was about 11 and got murdered when I was 12.
Wow,
So, yeah.
That's crazy. So how old, do you remember, or anybody ever told you how old were you when he went into prison?
Yeah, I believe I was about 5.
5.
And he got out when I was 11.
So in that year that before his passing, did you get to spend any time with him?
I did. I did. He was paroled to my mom's house, so he was there about 6 months. Then he moved out and was gone for 6 months, and he got murdered. So, but that was a big upset for me because he was the only one in my life that ever told me he loved me or anything like that. My mom was not like that. She was actually in-house on drugs, drug addict. So with him finally coming home, it's like, oh, my daddy is here.
Right.
And then it was taken from me.
Wow, that's crazy. Before I get into how that affected you, with your mom being on drugs, was she on drugs like your whole life?
All my life.
Correct.
But
Yes.
functioning drug addict?
Yes. She was not a streetwalker or nothing like
Right.
that. We did not live from pillar to post. She moved over there into the APs, the Athens area when I was 6, and she's still there.
But did you see her doing drugs? Was she like,
No, I've never seen her, but I knew when she was high.
You knew when she was high?
Yeah.
What would she do?
My mom is a very quiet person, so she's not a talkative person. My brother is not either, but I'm the one. Want to be on TV, everything. So she would just, I can tell.
She would be more talkative when she is.
I wouldn't say talkative. It would just be, you could just tell that she is.
would be picking up stuff. She might be. I'm just being real.
No.
She'll when you get high, if you hit the right.
If it's crack, is it crack? English.
If it's crack, I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
When you hit crack,
I ain't never seen.
Let me tell you something.
No.
I have sold crack to a lot of people, and when they hit that crack. In moments, they start looking for stuff on the table. This white table.
Are they cleaning up?
No, they see. She ain't never been. You don't know what I'm talking about. They looking for whatever. Okay, there it is right there.
No.
And then they'll do this, and you look and you think, okay, well, shit. By the time they leave your house, they done picked up stuff all around, looking and worrying you to death.
But no, she.
Am I right? You've seen people like that.
I've actually.
You was a dope dealer. I can look at you and tell. So you know that they were picking that stuff up and looking for it. The better the dope get, the more they looked.
Yeah.
So you had you one thing about it, but your mom didn't function.
But her mom wasn't like that.
Actually, she was paying the bills, everything. The only thing that I can say that was a setback was she did not care about me in school. I couldn't read or write all the way through high school. I say that my diploma is a lie because I wasn't up to par.
How did you pass your classes?
Because I was so damn bad that they just kept pushing me through the system.
Yeah, they do that.
Okay.
Even though I was smart, they did me like that too.
So
I was just smart enough to keep going. You know what I mean?
I would think that they'll fail you and try to make you be a dropout or something.
I was too bad for that. They did not want me an extra year. They wanted my little bad ass up out of there. But no, she was functioning. I would say lack of food in the refrigerator. Not really caring about me when I started playing sports. She never came to not one game or nothing like that. But she was just in the house. But the average thing that you think that we know that crackheads do, she didn't do it. She just stayed in the house. She didn't have friends, too many friends or nothing. She was just a quiet woman. But she was high all the time.
So with all of that was being, and it's you and your brother. How many siblings?
It's just me and my brother.
Just you and your brother.
Her.
He's older or younger?
7 years older.
7 years older. Okay, so was he more like a protector for you?
No, not at all. He, you know how the family have one or two slow people, but his was because of an accident, brain injury, and they don't let them grow out of it and they baby them. That's what it is. Like to this day, my brother, he's way more smarter and capable than my mom and my aunties allow him to expand his brain to be. It's more like they do everything for him. So no, I was the protector for him.
I was about to say, so that means that you as a young child probably took it upon your head to be like the head of the household, so to say.
Absolutely.
Because how nobody was so right.
Absolutely.
How did that affect you as a young child? Because you couldn't be a child.
I would say, looking at it now, I can elaborate on how it affected me. It affected me, making me stronger, strong-willed, where I had to protect myself. It was never a time that if something was going on outside or anything like that, that I can call my mom to come outside to fight somebody else's mama. You know, it's like, don't be messing with my child. She wasn't that. Or if I'm outside fighting the boys, which I did majority of that, fighting boys, school, everything. He didn't come to protect me, nothing like that, but I knew he wasn't. So anything that I was doing in the streets, I knew that I gotta maintain it and keep it in the streets because I couldn't bring it home because there wasn't no protection at home. And
then also your mom wasn't, like you said, wasn't the type of person that said, I love you or showed you affection.
At all.
So and then with your dad only telling you that within that first 6 months, really, after you met him again?
No, it was years and years of letters.
Okay,
and
so he did say it in the letters and the phone calls and stuff like that.
Because my older brother, he would say that I'm church's money, that I was my dad's favorite.
Right.
So years and years of letters. As a matter of fact, I have a jury box that he sent me for my 9th birthday. I still have it.
And you saved all those letters and everything?
No, that's a whole nother story. No.
What happened to the letters?
The letters, I went back to go get the letters maybe about 4 years ago, because I started writing a book.
Right.
And with me writing a book, I started to remember memories that I had never even remembered. So I was like, okay, with me not being able to read, let me go back and get those letters, because matter of fact, my daughter had read one of them, and he was actually speaking to me of what I'm doing right now in life, like taking care of people. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me go get all them letters so I can read them now that I can actually read. And my mom had threw them all away.
So your mom was the one back then who, when he sent you the letters, she was the one who would read them to you?
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part.
And I was just collecting them. But when I went back to go get them, they was all gone.
Ooh, that must have hurt.
Yeah, it was malicious. And it's on a mindset of, I can talk to you because you're still here, but his letters, now that I want to go back and reread that and see what he was speaking over my life, and he's not here, why would you let my brother throw them away? And she just got mad at me for even asking about them. And I'm like, but those were my letters. I left them here when I moved with my kid's father, because this is safe haven. You're not moving, you're not leaving. So certain things I left here. And why would you let him, throw away my letters? So it's something that just like in my mind, like, what was he saying? Because I only have 2 that I took with me. And those 2 speak to what I'm doing now. And I didn't never know that until maybe 5 years ago.
But everything happens for a reason. And we're human beings, and a lot of times we tend to I wish I could, or get mad over things that you can't change. But you really have to learn how to let it go, because if you hold on to it, it does affect your life going forward.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that to, whether just the anger, you might lash out later on and not realize it stemmed from that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So in order for us to grow and become the people that God intended us to be, we, you know, can't live in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, that's big, but it's kind of a catch-22 that you can't live in the past. But if you're asking and talking to somebody about, you know, some healing for you to like reflect on different things, and if they're not open to accountability, it kind of keeps you stuck right there, because I need you to say something to me to let me know that I wasn't tripping and that you are sorry for the different things that you did. And that's one of the things that I will not do with my kids. If I know that I'm wrong about something, I will say it. I will not sit there and be like, well, oh, well, you know, because I'm your mama, I said what I said. No, that's hurtful.
You definitely have to say it to get it off your chest. But then another thing that I've learned recently that I live my life by, and I keep saying this to other people because I'm also saying it to myself, is that I can't control what you say, think, or do.
True.
I can only control what I say, think, or do, and how I perceive things. So even although I'm telling you these things and I want you to respond for closure somewhat, I have to still tell myself, prepare myself for, they might not give me that closure, and I have to be okay with it, because I can't force you to give me what I need.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And it comes to a point, and a lot of people feel like your mom, your dad, you just have to take everything, and you have to have that mindset of keep being there for them, even though they're toxic and they're destructive to you and your life, and it became destructive to me and my life and my kids, where I had to retreat from that and just not have no dealings. And a lot of people that I talk to have good parents or love their mom. I love my mama, so that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But is when you tell that I haven't talked to my mom like verbally or seen my mom in about 4 years, someone that loved their mom kind of give me that look like, but that's still your mom. And I'm like, yeah, and she knows she my mom too.
You can love them from a distance.
Yeah, sometimes it's better for your spirit.
Well, not only for your spirit, you know, sometimes when you're dealing with somebody who's going through different things, it's best to change the way that you are around them so you can maybe help them change. When you do things a certain way, you hold people in a certain position. That's what unforgiveness and forgiveness stimulates around. If you forgive, you can release people. If you don't forgive them, you can hold them in the same situation. You know what I mean? So there are so many different ways you can look at it. However you choose to deal with it, though, as long as you put God first, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. You know, it's tough when I think about it deeply, is because she have medical problems because of her lifestyle now. So it's like, I want to be there, but I can't be there if you so toxic that I walk away in turmoil every time I deal with you. I can't do that. And then when you're pinning my kids against each other and still continuing that generational curse that I've tried so hard to break and broke, I can't keep allowing my kids to be in that environment, because people don't know it's demonic forces and stuff in people's houses. You can go in somebody else and you can feel different feelings. So with my mom, it's more like, you don't like me because you can't control me because I'm not my brother. And then you take it out on my kids and you play the same games that I watch my grandma play with y'all with my kids, and you're not finna do that.
Yeah, and I think you're doing the right thing. You know, those are your children. You have to raise them.
You have to protect your kids.
Yeah, you raise them the way that you want to raise them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want to go back to you though. Go back to your childhood. You being a young lady end up getting involved in the gang life early on. The Bloods?
Yes.
How old were you?
I would say when I started saying blood, I probably was about in 7th grade.
How did you end up getting into the gang? Was it because of the demographics you lived in, or was it because somebody jumped you in, or how does this process go? The
process for me was to get revenge from my daddy, and I did.
Whoa!
So that was the reason. It wasn't
revenge for your daddy. So the person who had did that to your dad, you would determine
area, turf, neighborhood-ish, probably family or whatever, but yeah.
And you ended up getting back at him.
Yeah.
Explain to me how.
Now I start stuttering.
As much as you can say.
I would say, as far as in putting somebody on a T-shirt on levels.
Wow, and you knew who it was that had did this to your father?
No, I didn't. And then this is the funny thing about it is I talked to my older brother on my daddy's side maybe about 3 years ago. And I was talking about that to him. And he like, why do you keep saying that? And I'm like, saying what? He like, why you keep saying that? You went over there, blah, blah, blah. And that was the only place you went. And it was like, that they didn't have nothing to do with Daddy getting killed. It was his friends and something else. And I'm like, you mean to tell me this after all these years? And he like, yeah.
So so what happened per se could have been the wrong individual?
I mean, it's always a wrong or it's where I'm at now, us killing each other is wrong. I wouldn't have thought that 25 years ago. So it's wrong either way it go to me now. So regardless to what and why I was doing it, it was wrong then too.
Wow. When you say put somebody on a T-shirt, how bad does it get? You're young. You're in the 7th grade, 6th grade, maybe.
No, that's when I started. But
when this happened,
when this happened, because he passed when she was 12. So
yeah.
So how old were you?
That was about like 18 or something like that.
Oh, so you knew what you was doing.
Exactly, I knew what I was doing.
Did you get caught?
Never.
Never got caught in your life?
Never.
But so there's been things happen, and we don't want to talk about it much on Boss Talk because we don't want
yeah,
you to
because
get
I can be sitting there just lying.
Yeah, but no, I mean I get it, because I've been through things and things happen, and you don't get caught for every single thing you do. But for you to be in this lifestyle, was it something where you lived in Compton?
I lived in L.A., borderline Compton. Athens Park is in L.A. Okay,
yeah, I've heard talks about that. So when you look at the blood and the gangs, what were some of the things that you guys did when y'all thought y'all was having a good time? Because, I relate through colors and all this. I'm from Texas, okay? I'm not from out here. So when I think about the gang life, and I've talked to so many different gang members or gang people who've gotten out of it or aren't active anymore, but still, affiliates. Like, what did y'all do for a good time when you was 18? Was it partying?
Partying. I used to rap. So any parties that I was at, I would steal the microphone, snatch the microphone out of somebody's hand and just go up. Like, I was very aggressive because I had to be, because I didn't have protection. Now, we talk about a young woman that's gangbanging. Most females have uncle, brother, cousins or something where it's like, that's their little protection or their comfort blanket. I didn't have none of that. So everything I did was I had to do it for me, and I had to make sure it didn't come to my mama house. So I was the whole little female doing what I was doing, but couldn't get on the phone, call nobody other than my 2 homegirls. Or maybe a homeboy or something like that. Now, I do remember always getting in trouble for not telling the homeboys what we was doing. Because in our mind, us 3 is doing this, so we're not going to tell nobody nothing. The homies is like, when y'all do this, y'all got to come and tell us, because we ain't knowing what the hell going on, because y'all out doing shit. But that telltale shit, I ain't never had that.
Wow.
But you would think that if you're a part of the blood, that would be the people that is protecting you. So you have somebody protecting you.
I mean, yeah, in a big thought, absolutely. Like, they wouldn't let nothing happen to us because we was active and we was solid. Mm-hmm. So, but by me not ever being able to go and tell somebody to come help me, it transferred over to when I was gangbanging too. So it's like, if I need some help or something, I'm gonna talk to 1 or 2 of my homegirls. I'm not gonna talk to the homeboys about it. Right. Because it's a big thing of, when you gangbang, you really with it, you don't really talk too much. Because the more you talk, you don't know who gonna go tell on your ass. So you gotta keep it kind of hush-hush. But a lot of things that they don't speak about as far as the female gangbangers is, it doesn't matter how much dirt you put in as a female, you will never be equal to the male counterpart. It does not matter if I'm more solider, if I have more stripes than you, if I have whatever more than you, if your genitals is a male genital, I will never stand up to the same thing. And on top of that, I'm not only in competition with the guys, I'm in competition with the women. When the men are only in competition with the men. Mm-hmm. So being a female gangbanger, that's a way more than a man, period.
But in any category in life,
yes,
women fall under that umbrella anyway. Mm-hmm. You understand? But then why is it that for a woman, why are we trying to compete with a man?
I don't think it's the mindset of competing. It's more, I can do what you do.
So it's
type
respect.
thing. So yeah, respect, but it's like I can do what you do. Like, okay, me and my two homegirls, we were just tough. We were just bad. We just liked it. So it wasn't like we were scared anyway. So it's not a compete, but it is a compete. Because when we sitting there talking about something, my voice should just be as strong as yours. Because I may have way more knockdowns than you. You just may be taller than me with different genitals. But because I'm a female, it's always dummied down because you're a female.
But at the end of the day, if a man and a woman go hand to hand in combat, a man is physically stronger than a woman. Am I right?
I would say physically, absolutely. But one thing about women is we can use the right side of our brain. So our intuition and everything is way more potent and powerful than a man. For us to meditate is way more easier for us to meditate than a man, which it pulls in our other spirits and our other things. So we're powerful, way more, in my personal opinion, than men, but physically, we're not.
Okay.
Well, that's subjective. Very subjective, actually.
I said what I said, and I will give you an example about it. An example
about it. All you want to say.
For the vast
I don't want to believe that crap.
It doesn't matter.
For the vast
really
majority, thinking that a man,
I would tell you the loyalty and how women don't run more than men. Now I will tell you that.
Man.
Let me talk to you, Mama.
You telling me women don't run?
For the vast majority, now I'm gonna tell you how.
Are you serious?
If we do the statistics on gang bangers, men and females, most women gang bang and raise kids. They don't run from their kids. Now you do the statistics of how many men that don't take care of their kids. They runners, they're track stars.
Not all of them.
So not all of them.
I don't.
But the statistics.
Me and Ali, I just had this conversation.
Go with him.
Let me just say. Let me say this. Ali Sadiq and me, we talked about it. You know, my dad was not in the household, but he took care of us. There's a lot of men that hang with men that take care of their kids, like me. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it statistic wise, yeah, you may have had some experiences. I don't know what your experiences is, but I do know that everybody's case is different. True. I'm not I get, who's out here counting how many dads taking care of the kids?
We looking at the single moms. That's the count.
Well, there's a lot of moms that are single and don't even take care of their kids.
Yes, but
a lot of them.
But like I just said, as far as in the gangbang world, the statistics of the women taking care of their kids versus walking away from their kids, we take care of them and still do both. The for the vast majority, do not do both.
Okay,
so as far as in stepping up and standing there and maintaining and taking care of these kids, they do not do that. They gravitate to gang banging way more all day, every day with their homies, with niggas or with females. But the woman is a gang banger in the daytime or whatever, and mommy at night, or vice versa. But on a statistic level, and this is me watching this and talking to other people, that we do both way more. We do not run from our responsibilities or our endeavors. We don't run from it as much as the men do, period.
I got a question with that. Do you think that, this is not on an all case basis, because I know it probably won't be, but do you think that most men who, when you say run from the family to go over here, is doing that because they are protecting their family and because they know that people might retaliate and try to harm their family if they're over here and they know where they are and who they are and stuff like that, so they try to more stay here to protect them?
I would say that's a little percentage. But I don't think that they care like that, because they still will go to their grandma's house and still stay at their grandma's house, or still stay at that other baby mama house and then go to the other baby mama house. So it's not that.
Okay.
It is So I would say maybe a 5% with that.
Okay.
But that is very, very sad.
It is.
Is there any... Do you know any good men out there?
I do. And that's another thing that I really speak to women and let them know, to stop telling your daughters that these niggas ain't shit. Because if you keep telling her that, you're brainwashing her that, and she gonna get a nigga that ain't shit. Because there's good dudes out here. She just gotta more than likely go outside the neighborhood for the majority of them. But there's some in the neighborhood too. I have 2 good sons that's in the neighborhood. So I know that they are there. And then I've been raised and grew up with a few of them. So it's not the fact that it's not all these niggas ain't shit. is if you keep telling your daughter that, she gonna go find one that ain't shit. So women need to stop telling their daughter that and start telling them the difference in type of men, for a man versus a nigga, and it's a big difference.
Was your mom the type of mom who used to tell you that?
No, she didn't tell me nothing, and she didn't badmouth my dad either.
Okay.
So she didn't tell me. Now, my mom didn't have no dialogue with me. Like, I kind of raised myself without any dialogue.
Okay.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3 kids.
2 boys and
And a girl.
And a girl.
Yes.
2 boys and a girl. They tough.
They are. My kids' father side of the family is linked to Studio East, Eve After Dark. That was just on the Super Bowl with Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
So that's my kids' family.
Wow. And so, and I was going to ask you that because when you think about Dr. Dre Compton, you think about Snoop
The
Long Beach,
club that he
you
started
think
out
about-
in.
You think
That's
of
their club.
Eve After Dark.
Yeah, I heard of that club.
What about that club?
Yeah, that's my kid's grandfather's club. He built that club from
So
scratch.
you knew Alonzo.
Yeah, I know Alonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo been on the show a few
Good.
times.
I
But-
talk to Alonzo often.
So you had Snoop out of Long Beach, Eazy-E out of Compton. You had
Ice Cube, LA.
Ice Cube, South Central. Who was over at on your side of town? Anybody like DJ Quick was out of Compton as well.
We got Bone, the actor.
Okay.
So that's one that I
That's
was
one of the guys that was
yeah.
out of the neighborhood.
That everybody would know if I say that.
Yeah. And what
And you know who she talking about? Michael
Bone?
Jaw White.
Michael J. White?
Yeah,
That's
when
who
she
you
said
talking about?
Bone, that's who you talking
The one
about.
that was that's not his name.
Because
What is
Bone
his
is in the
real
movie
name?
talking about when he played that character Bone.
With Denzel.
No, that's a different person.
Yeah, with Denzel.
I'm just checking because he's in California too, so I wasn't sure.
Nobody ain't think about that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That woman trying to tell you about Bone. Hell, you talking,
But Bone
she know
is
who her
Bone is a
Bone
legend in the neighborhood.
Very
and
much a big
movies.
legend.
Yeah.
And a very big legend in movies. And he not Michael J. White. Now let's keep
Play too
going.
much.
He ain't been on Boss Talk. Let's get to it. Do you feel like, okay, once you got into these gangs, what were some of the close calls where you could have lost your life?
I had a lot of close calls.
Give me some examples. Give me one example.
One example is me and my homegirl going to a Crip neighborhood, flamed all the way up, all the way from hair to shoes, and getting into it with them and thinking in our mind at that young stupid ass age that because we got 9 or 380 in our back pocket and these niggas got big shit that we still hard. But the thing about it, God has never let nothing happen to my little dumb ass. Throughout all this fuck
did
shit
you
I was
bust up
doing.
in there or something when you was over there?
No, they knew what it was because I had been over there before. So they
So they
knew
knew
it
you
was.
was packing tight.
They knew that, and they knew I was from Athens. That was never a secret.
So
Because I'm either banging out the T-tops of the Camaro, burning rubber, leaving, or whatever the case may be. They knew that, though. But this particular time, it was a lot of them out there, and it was kind of like, whoa, we pulled up, and me and her looked at each other like, bitch, you ready? She like, bitch, you ready? And we went on upstairs. And they just parted the stairs, parted the scene, we walked upstairs. But looking back at it now, it's one of those things where I think God never let that crazy motherfucker be around to pop my ass. Because I was never on no scary stuff. And it was just like I put myself in a lot of situations and I didn't care.
Give me an example of a time when somebody. Have you ever had a friend that get shot right in front of you?
Okay.
And what did you do, or how did you deal with it? You know, because I think about Menace to Society. Don't die, Kane. Yeah, nigga, I think about stuff like that.
Right.
Like Boys in the Hood. Turn your punk ass over. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few.
Well, give
It's
me an
been
example.
a few.
One of the most. Have anybody died in your arms?
No.
Have you ever seen anybody die from your clique?
From my clique?
In front of
in
her?
front of you, yeah.
Like my solids?
Have anybody died in front of you?
Yeah, I have seen that.
That you've known.
Yeah, from my neighborhood. Yeah, I've seen that.
Give me the
Drive-by, and one of the females that was in the parking lot got murdered.
in the drive-by.
Mm-hmm.
They just drove by and just sprayed up the place, so you could have been hit.
Of course.
And did you what did you think that night after you went home and left there? Are we gonna
And did
get
you
them
have
back?
kids at that
Let's
time?
be real.
Yeah, I did have kids at that time. That's why I chuckled.
Yeah, that's why I
chuckled.
Your get back was on your mind.
It wasn't really too much of that for me because I done so much that I don't have to no more. You know, at a point you become a general or something like that to where I'm at now. I don't have to do shit no more. So, and then I'm okay with that because I don't want to and I'm not going to. I've got that preserved for my kids only.
Were you attracted to other guys that was banging, or would you like a square? What did you like?
Not super banging.
You like the square?
No, I didn't like no damn square. I like squares maybe now, but then hell no.
You gotta be a thug.
Yeah, ish. Like, you know, you gang bang, but you go to work type thing, something like that. But if you just out here just strictly thugging, gang banging, I don't want that ass. I don't want you.
You don't want that thing, that bang all day.
I'm good.
I seen. Let me go and interview you. Let me get my secret. I seen Serena Williams come through on this halftime. She did the Crip walk in blue. She was from Compton, right? Is there a blood walk? Because I thought DJ Quicks, I seen him do it. Why do they do the Crip walk?
Way more than anything.
And why would she do? Well, maybe she crippin'.
I really believe the neighborhood that she grew up in was Crips. Yeah, there is a blood walk, and it's way doper and it's way more beautiful.
You know how to do it?
Than the Crip walk.
But I've never seen it before.
I asked you, have you ever done it? Hell, answer my question.
Yeah, I used to.
No, I mean, can get it. Turn the music on.
No, don't do that.
Okay, that's what I thought. Baby, you know it, though. You know that.
Yeah,
you know
of course. Because
Have you ever done? When the last time you done? Don't lie to me.
Last time I done it?
I mean, serious at the house, like you hit it.
It's been years.
Like 2 weeks ago.
No.
If I put the right song, what was the song? Was it that? Well, you a liar! Was it that DJ Quick?
It could have been.
It was that Quick, wasn't it?
It could have been.
And when they put that Quick on, you start just
But you know what? When I would really get it used to be to Dub C songs.
You like
I am a fan of Dub C.
And that's when you do your blood walk
that I've ever bought his music.
And you blood walk
to his shit. Straight up. It's the best.
Ain't that against the rules?
It's not. It's not.
So you get a Dub C who we know he's Crip.
Right.
And you just get out there and start blood walking.
Get it. All over his shit.
It's a little faster pace than the Crip walk.
No, it's about the same pace. You're just painting a different picture.
Okay.
Y'all gonna make me Google this blood walk because I don't know.
I've seen it.
It looks similar to Crip walk, but
it's different.
Because you gotta do your feet to the BLOOD.
Okay.
So yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Straight up. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just. Hey, listen. I'm picking up what you're putting down. You know what I'm saying? So when you went to school, I want to go there. Like when they knew you was gang banging. Mm-hmm. When did the teacher pick up? Like, oh, this girl is a gang banger.
I had a teacher in 12th grade. Me and my homegirl, one of my homegirls, we went to all CRIPS school, Cedar Chavez, and one of my teachers called me out of the classroom one day because we was flamed up. We used to walk to school every day, flamed up, smoking weed.
She knew.
Just on one. No, it was a him. And I wouldn't talk in the classroom. And he pulled me outside one day and he was like, is everything okay? Because you don't never talk to anybody. You only talk to your friend. Is everything okay going at home? And I'm flamed up. I looked at him. I'm like, I'm a blood. I'm like, I don't fuck with them here. But I said the other stuff, the distant stuff. And he kind of like looked at me and was like, oh. And I'm like, I don't fuck with these people here. And he was just kind of looking at me. So, yeah.
I bet you he didn't actually have to ask
you. He didn't ask that shit no damn more. Like, I'm not in the classroom talking to them at all.
Wow. When it come down to death row and that movement going on in this city when it was like everywhere, how did you deal with it? Did you ever run into like the Shugs and the crew and all of the people that was linked around him?
I did. I know that Pac came to the APs one summer. I think that was like 2000, and that's when they was doing California Love, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. But other than that, I didn't run into him. I remember that my kid's daddy, of course, he's tight with Dr. Dre, what used to be, because Dr. Dre started out in his father's club. And I remember that we went to Calabasas. This had to be 2020. And we went out there to Calabasas. And mind you, I'm full-fledged rapping and gang banging at this time, where I can just freestyle all day if you let me. And the guys was like, come on upstairs. Eminem and Snoop is upstairs, so let's go upstairs and smoke with Dr. Dre or whatever. And I looked at him, I'm like, I'm not going upstairs with that nigga Snoop. Like, on Bloods, I'm not going up there. And I did not go up there that night. And now looking back, I should have took my little stupid ass up there and started just flowing on the nigga. But my mind was, he a Crip, I'm a Blood, I'm not going in that room.
You banging.
Just stupid.
No, you were banging.
No, I was banging, but looking at it as a grown woman now, that's
different,
fuck.
but you was banging hard.
I was banging hard
then.
as fuck. I would have went up there and started gang banging on him directly.
And you was not trying to hear it.
No.
Because of all these rules.
No.
And you had girls that was just like you on the opposite side too.
I know.
Did you ever run into them and they was like hardcore? And did you have a rival? Anybody that you just like, this bride, right? Me and her, when we see each other,
they wasn't Crips though. My rivals was more.
It was blood.
It was just other sets, and I think it was more so because I kept my dignity with gang banging. I wasn't fucking on these niggas, and that's facts. So when I would come around, big facts. So when I would come around, I looked a little bit younger than what I look now, just cute, but I didn't look like a gang banger. So anytime that me and my homegirls was there, it used to always be like, I want to get down with that bitch right there. And it's like,
because you didn't look like you had
and it's
no
like,
go-get.
And then it got to a point where niggas got to saying, you sure? You sure? And it's like, but you're looking at how I look compared to my other two homegirls, you know, not saying that they wasn't cute, because we all was cute, but me with the long hair and I'm cheesing, showing teeth or whatever the case may be, and the guys
you
are more
didn't look like
catering,
you dangerous,
right? And they are catering more to me and my homegirls, because we not on that fucking nigga shit. But they would get mad and they would always pick me, and used to always be a fat bitch.
Well, yeah, want to squabble. She want to squabble you down.
I would beat that fat bitch up. I think my real combat gonna be somebody my era, my age, like my height, my weight. That would probably be the real fight. But a big bitch, no.
Okay,
I learned on them.
What did you do? What did you, when the East Coast and West Coast thing was going on? What was your thoughts when they made it out of an East Coast West Coast beef? What did you think about that during that time?
I was still young. I remember like when Pac and Biggie was going at it or whatever. I was still young. I was I'm thinking I was still in high school.
Okay.
So I was just riding with Pac because of the simple fact, I mean, that's my side of the turf, and ain't nobody worried about Biggie.
So when he died, did you feel like you lost?
Which one?
When Pac died.
When Pac died, I felt like that was so fucked up. Like, because of his skill. And I don't think there's still another Pac. I don't think nobody else can live up to that. Yeah. So I think we lost big with that. With Biggie is a Gemini and I'm a Gemini. So I like
Pac
him
was a
because of
Gemini
that.
Too.
Exactly. So I just got to put the Gemini on that because I don't have nothing else for Biggie. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it in a negative way. But with him being a Gemini, it was kind of like dang, you know, but I was biased. I'm on Pac. Period. So ain't nobody worried about Biggie. But being grown now and thinking about it was kind of like that was just two devastations for both sides. Period.
How old were you when you got your heart broke?
I was 18.
Cried like a dog, didn't you?
I did not cry.
You was not that gangster.
And that was the
cry.
first time you got your heart broken?
Yes.
You just was quiet.
I did not cry.
So how do you hurt?
What?
What did you do when you got your heart broken?
You got use that little 380 on something?
No. I would say this. I had someone that was lying. He was older than me. And he had got married. And I didn't know it. And I believed him. So I say about a month after he got married, he passed away in a car accident. So two people had told me about it, but I wasn't believing him because the day of the wedding, I saw him. He came to my apartments. So I'm like, ain't no damn way he got married when I saw him. Like, so, and then he cried about it and, you know, and it's like, he not lying.
Right.
Bullshit. So when he passed away and we got to the funeral, and I told my homegirls, I said, I know when I open this obituary, them pictures gonna be in there. And when I opened the obituary, it was the pictures. Only thing he didn't have on in that picture that I seen that day, he had on the jacket and the under thing. But over there that day, he had on the shirt and then the slacks and the shoes or whatever. But it was the same exact outfit. I remember that day keep saying, like, you so fine today. Like, you just cute today. But he had just got married. So when I opened that obituary and leading up to that, I didn't cry. I maybe cried like the day I found out. But leading up to that, I got mad because I started to hear that he did get married. So I was mad. But at the funeral, I told myself and I told my homegirls, I'm like, I'm not about to cry. This nigga not worth my tears. And I stood on that with the frog in my throat.
You too damn hard, bro.
I'm not, but my feelings was fucked up and I'm not a crybaby anyway. I'm single as fuck.
I know you single. I know you single. You ain't got to tell me you single. Because the way you act, you too hard, bro.
That's not true.
Bro, nobody don't want that,
and
bro.
I'm not bro.
No, that's what I'm telling you are.
Female.
And the reason I said bro, because that's what you acting like. Bro, you acting like that. That's why you can't get a man. Hell, you is a man.
No.
Damn.
You got jokes. That was cute. That was real cute. That was cute as fuck, y'all.
All I'm saying is you.
My thing now is my nonprofit and these black baby girls to not allow them to take the same stupid moves I did. So for the last 4 years, I've been rebuilding myself. My last relationship was with a narcissist. So now people say, like, you, as you said, I'm tough, I'm bro, and all this old stuff. I let a nigga take me damn near to the dirt. Like to my, like emotionally, where I had to build myself back up, and I'm not about to play with nobody else.
You shouldn't be letting nobody take you to the dirt.
But
that
the
shouldn't
thing,
even be a
if
thing.
you ask like powerful, potent women, they done went through something where they was getting their ass whooped or whatever the case was, for them to be who they are and be as strong as they are now.
God put you through things for a reason.
With that, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be playing with nobody else.
How long were you in that relationship for?
Almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years. How long did it take for the abuse to start?
He took off the mask maybe like a year and a half.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, you did something.
I didn't.
It started off verbal.
I don't have this mouth in a relationship. I'm a woman in a relationship. I'm not trying to wear the pants. I act like this because I don't have a man. I got to protect myself, my kids.
So this is
this
is a protection move.
Of course, I've been on that since a baby.
It's a shield. It's just a shield.
And you know how to turn it on and off.
You know how you deal with somebody and they real nice, and then once you really in a relationship with them, the motherfucking bitch crazy. I'm not her. I'm mean as fuck in the front, and if you can get past that, I'm
as sweet as ever.
Yeah, I don't want no beef. I just want to be loved.
But when the abuse started after a year, that was verbal abuse or physical?
It was all emotional and mental.
So it was never physical?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
You can't look at her she acting. She
I ain't never got my ass whooped
380. She pop a nigga.
Because most abuse started verbal first, but eventually end up in physical a lot of times.
I've never had no one to put their hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
So you just know
now I've been slapped. That's not that. Matter of fact, let's tell that story. No. With my kid's dad. Now, mind you, let's put it out there. My kid's dad is 22 years older than me.
Okay.
So when I was 19, he was 42. Right? So I was still in the gang bank era and all that old stuff. And this was maybe after my first child. And I was starting that bullshit, like, I'm aggressive and I get you. But mind you, he like 6'4". This ain't no little man. And we had something before where I put my hands on him and he didn't do nothing. He just left. He looked at me like, you crazy as fuck. Like, because he's a whole knockout artist. And he looked at me kind of like, you crazy.
He's
like,
a gang banger too?
No.
No, he's just a knockout artist.
He's one of them that, back in the day they fought, but he never gang banged.
Right.
But he's from that same community because of Studio East Jeffties and all of that, right?
Okay.
So my second time doing it, what I do, I threw a lamp down the hallway and it shattered on him. And I went to go follow it up with swinging, and by the time I got down that hallway, he slapped my ass back in the living room and I just sat on the couch. And I ain't did no shit like that since. Ain't did no shit like that since. And it wasn't even that he hurt my face. It was that he hurt my feelings. Like, did you just hit me? And I ain't did no shit like that since.
Jeffties on Eve After Dark.
Yes.
Yeah. So that I just thought about that name when you said it.
Yeah.
Man,
Other than that, I have not been hit by no man.
Yeah, but he slapped you.
He slapped some sense into my ass, and I sat on that couch and did not get back up, and I did not say nothing either.
What was your final straw for the abuse, the mental abuse? Because you said he took
with the narcissist.
Yeah. What was that final straw? Because that started happening a year into but it went 5 years, so you put up with a lot.
The mask was taken off slowly but surely.
But what was that final straw?
The final straw was when I was questioning my own thoughts. And I said it out loud to his auntie, and I'm like, yeah, talking to him, he'll make you think, why am I even thinking that? And I heard that. Like, if a nigga got you questioning your thoughts, them your thoughts. Mm-hmm. And if you like, knowing he wrong about something, which you wasn't no third party or nothing like that, but you know he wrong about something, but by the time he finished talking, you questioning your thoughts, he too deep in your head and you too stupid. So it was just too much of that, and then stressing and losing weight and thinking that I'm wrong, let me fix it. But it wasn't me. And it just got to the point where my son, my oldest son, that's 22 right now, he started saying things like, Mom, you need to leave him alone. Like, why does he keep coming back? And then I'm like, nah, mind your business, feeling like you a kid, stay in a kid's place. Mm-hmm. Now I understand that your kids is in your place. They feel what you feel. If you stressed out, they stressed out. So he was very well relevant and very much needed to say that to me. But I felt like, you a kid, I'm an adult. This is my shit. It ain't nobody doing nothing to your ass, so shut up. But he was doing something to me, and my son was watching it. Mm-hmm. So that was more of the last straws. Like, I'm over here always upset. I'm crying about stuff, and I'm crying about shit that don't even make sense that you're twisting up. Mm-hmm. And we done with that.
Wow.
And with everything that you know, because you've been through, the gang banging, all that, and you have kids. Your kids come to you, or might not even come to you. You might find out that they started banging, but maybe even for the other side. How do you feel about that?
My kid's not gonna gang bang.
They're not gonna gang bang.
Period. I'm not wavering with that at all. My 16-year-old is an athlete. He's been playing football since 6. He's 16, and he do MMA and boxing now. My daughter, she graduated out of high school on honor roll with a GPA of 3.8, and she's in the Navy. She went straight to the Navy. She's only did not even a full 5 years, and she's medically retiring next month from the Navy, honorable discharge. And then my 22-year-old's in another state working. My kids is not finna gang bang. I did enough for that, me and their grandfather. My daddy did enough for that for everybody.
Wow. First of all, thank you for coming on the show. But I want to ask you about the nonprofits, the stuff that you're doing with the young ladies. I want to go into more detail on that before we end this.
Absolutely. My nonprofit was started in 2019. My whole focus was to be to them young girls who I needed. I didn't have nobody support me or nothing like that. With me playing sports, I was always a highlight of sports, basketball, baseball, and volleyball. Had no support. Moms didn't come to no games or nothing like that. So that deviated me to be outside more in the streets opposed to learning my purpose young. So my thing with my baby girls is for them to learn their purpose young and understand what manipulation is, the difference between self-respect and respect. So I meet with my babies every Sunday, and we go over whatever it is that the curriculum is for that day. I have honor roll students now in my nonprofit. With my girls, I have one baby that I would say last grade year was going through it, running away, all different type of stuff, and she's on honor roll right now.
Wow.
I do not play about that. My babies know school and elders, being disrespectful to elders, are the two things I will not tolerate.
How do you help these young girls, especially sometimes if their home environment isn't all that great?
That's the tough part.
How do you intervene? Because the mamas might try to jump on you.
They're not going to do that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's the hard part, because all the work that I put in while they there with me, it can be undone in 30 minutes when they get home. But to stay focused and to stay consistent with them and they know that they can call me morning, noon, night. They call me when they getting into it with kids at school, and they call me Miss Boo, but this is that, and I'm like, bring it on down. Okay, you run track, right? Yeah. Okay, so you gonna fight her, and then you can't run track no more? No. Okay, well, get your shit together and call me when you get out of school. Okay, baby, have a good day. So, but just to be that voice. So my main thing with them is just to always do different things with them. Like, for example, this tomorrow's Valentine's Day. At my building, we have lock-ins where we stay at the building all weekend, and because I have a shower and everything at the building. So for Valentine's Day, they're staying from Friday to Sunday. So in the midst of that, that's counseling with me and the girls one-on-one, or group counseling or whatever like that. And then we do outings, and then we do give back to the community where they have to participate on some of them. So I have a lot of stuff going on that the baby's got to be involved in.
How many people help you? How many people you have on your team helping doing that? Just you?
It's about three.
3 people?
3, and all of them are under 24.
How many girls do you have?
13.
13. But as you get more and more girls, you're going to need more help.
Yeah, I'm totally open to that, long as they're African-American women or young women. My thing is all about the black baby girl, so I cannot have another race coming in talking to my black baby girl, just like I cannot talk to another race about how their lifestyle is.
Right, that makes sense. I love that. Kudos to you.
Wow.
Anything else about the nonprofit other than that? Matter of fact, the Saturday food giveaways. I've been doing Saturday food giveaways. My pickup is Trader Joe's, so I don't have the typical box food and the canned food. I have produce, meat, and all of that. And I've been doing that for 4 years to date, only missing 19 or 20 Saturdays. So I feed my community every Saturday.
So, what would you say to a little girl that's out there 15, 14, and she's banging?
And she's banging?
She's in the gang, and she's caught up in it, but she feel like she don't have nobody, but she really don't want to be a part of it.
Oh, I've never thought about that one. Because that's like talking to me, and you really can't talk to him like that. I mean, I would tell her whatever she eat, sleep, and breathe, and think about, which she first thing that she think about in the morning, whether it's writing, drawing, rapping, singing, focus more on that than the gangbang world, because it don't lead to nothing positive. I mean, as far as in all the dirt that I did, the most that I'm gonna get out of it is the big ass funeral. I'm not getting no pension or retirement off of it. And then on top of that, if something were to happen to me, the same niggas that I grew up with would be trying to fuck on my daughter and be trying to get my sons to be in the gang. So you really don't get nothing out of it at the end of the day, other than the respect that's in your face. Because most people come to the funeral to see who else at the funeral. They don't really come to pay respects to you, for the most part.
Wow, could you give me 16 bars?
No.
You ain't got it no more, do you? It's fine. You fell off.
I'm not biting. Because I'm in my mind, I'm trying to think of one of my songs. I just dropped the song, and it's like,
You ain't got 16 bars. I just had Money B in here say, "What's up, love? How you doing?" And you know how you get down. I get around that woman pop. You ain't got nothing, but you used to be on board. I don't know. I mean, people want to know what happened. What was your name back in the day when you was rapping?
It was Boo Boo.
Boo Boo. What happened to Boo Boo? What happened to Boo Boo? Like, she was rapping every day. Now, she just disappeared. What happened to Boo Boo? That's the way I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Smoking on trees, smoking souls with the chrome. You could give me some head and you could get the fuck on. Treating these niggas like they treat these bitches. I can fuck with a trick but not no snitches. Telling my life the way it is. Forever getting mad and even shedding a tear. Busting a nutty and showing no fear. Getting high, then the motherfucker telling the real. At times it seemed like my life is a joke, so I big back with the blunt and I choke.
Man, hold up. See, what are you doing? Give your fans something. Quit playing, bro. Thank you so much. We just giving you.
I know.
I enjoyed it, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself, man. Like I said, the main thing, keep going, man. You are inspiration. your life is a testimony.
Yes,
You're inspiring, and you're trying to do something to help change women's lives. Not only women, men too. Mama Boo done came through and shut it down, man, on Boss Talk 101, man. Thank you for coming on the show. We love you. It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
And we out.